The male loser epidemic. People, what up? What's good? It's your boy TwoCentz, man. As y'all can see, we got a very interesting video, interesting topic from Shoe on Head that we're gonna be checking out. The male loser epidemic. Before we get into it, though, y'all, I feel like it's really, and loser is a loose, you know what I'm saying? It's not really a specific term. Hopefully she's gonna, break it down, like what exactly does it mean to be a loser as we watch the video. But I feel like you got it's not, it's very easy to not be a quote unquote loser, because I mean, what type of guys do they call losers? Like incels, uneducated, you know what I'm saying, no job, fat, right? Like all you have to do to not be considered a loser or not view yourself as a loser is take care of your business, bro. That like it's that simple. You know what I'm saying? If you want a job, let's find a job. If you want to go to school, let's get some money together. Let's pick a degree. Let's go to school, or let's learn a trade. Right? If you want to get a girlfriend, let's hit the gym a little bit, work on our communication skills a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Work on our personality, and let's, you know what I'm saying? Let's start hollering at some. So I don't understand, why this is such a big thing when it is so easy to take care of business. You know what I'm saying? It's very easy to not give up, right, on your goals or your dreams or whatever it is that you want to do. But apparently, man, there's still a loser epidemic. I've been speaking a lot. We're 2 minutes in. We haven't even started. Let's get started, y'all. I'm sorry. Y'all know I'll be yapping.
Hello again, friends. Sorry I've been gone for quite a bit. Hopefully nothing too crazy happened. I feel like every time I take a break, like a war breaks out or something, but thankfully that did not happen. But at least we found out the real
Epstein client. Oh, they ain't releasing the files. Yeah, I did see that. What y'all think about that? I mean, y'all know the government be hiding stuff, lying. Right? This ain't nothing new.
Epstein files were the friends we made along the way. Welcome back to the Shoe on Head channel. If it is your first time here, run. I am Shoe on Head, and on this channel I like to cover cultural issues mostly surrounding men's issues. It's what I've been doing for over a decade, and frankly, I'm exhausted. Many of you have been along for the ride, and you have seen me go from a chipper, lively 24-year-old making fun of BuzzFeed and Tumblr feminists to a bitter, calloused 34-year-old talking about
Let's stop it right here. And obviously, she's introducing herself, so she really hasn't said much on the topic, but just listen to that, bro. She been doing this thing on YouTube for 10 years. She 34. She started at 24, man. She got 2 million. All she did was lock in, stay consistent. You know what I'm saying? Stay true to the topic that she wanted to talk about, and she succeeded. Right? It might take you 20 years to get where you're trying to do. It might take you 5 years. It might take you 1. But it's not, it's not hard to not be, it's not hard to win, it's not hard to succeed, right? You just gotta lock in, right? So shout out to her, man, for doing this thing for 10 years. Much respect.
Very real and growing men's issues. One of the main men's issues I have been covering in great detail lately has been the male loneliness epidemic. Yeah, but turns out I was wrong. We don't have a male loneliness epidemic. We have a male loser epidemic. It's not a male loneliness epidemic. No, it's a male mediocrity epidemic. It's a male loser epidemic.
The male loser epidemic has gotten so bad that it's honestly so pathetic at this point.
The male loser. Yeah, I feel like that's too, and hopefully she break it down. But what constitutes towards being a loser? Is it everything? Incel, all of that combined that we spoke on earlier. What they talking about? Shoe on Head. Let's hear it.
Now, I don't always talk about men's issues. No, sometimes I talk about politics, and sometimes I mix the two together. Now, I know a lot of you don't like politics. You don't care about politics. But politics cares about you, and it will enter your life no matter how hard you try to avoid it. But thankfully, I have the perfect app to help you.
Oh, you got a little ad? Shout outs to the political ad, man. Hold on.
This different ground app that gives
shout outs to the Ground app, man. You know what I'm saying? I love staying informed. I love, reading up. Man, very interesting, very cool, man. They got a great discount, $5 a month. Man, use code SHOE, man. I'm gonna scan that QR code. I'm gonna check it out, y'all. Are we here?
Right. Now, let's get back to the video.
All right, bet.
With all these issues men are facing, they seem to be moving to the right and the Republicans more, since the left and Democrats have essentially just become the young men eat and die movement. Months ago, I covered how the Democratic Party was losing young men, and I predicted Kamala Harris would lose in part because of young men overwhelmingly voting for Trump. And I was correct. Well, now the Democrats have unveiled their final solution to the right-wing male loser epidemic. Democrats spending millions to learn how to speak to American men and win back the working class. Democrats have blown millions of dollars on efforts to appeal to American men who turned to President Donald Trump in droves on Election Day in hopes of winning back the working class. Democrats have spent $20 million on their efforts, with donors and strategists holing up in luxury hotel rooms, brainstorming how to convince working class men to return to the party. Ah yes, nothing more relatable to working class men than luxury hotel rooms. Great job, guys. The plan? Codename Sam.
By the way, y'all, I don't consider myself Democratic or Republican. I'm not politically informed as much as I should be. And you know, I don't fully align any of my views with either political party. I think you know, it's probably beneficial for me to be politically informed. At the same time, you guys, I feel like you can get a lot accomplished being ignorant. Right. Fortunately, right, that's our situation in America. You don't have to depend on you know, your political party or some figurehead that you're waiting for every 4 years or 2 years or whatever, you know, to come in and change things, man. Because a lot of the time, you know, you vote for your president, your governor, whoever it is, and you know what I'm saying, your life is still the same. Right. So, you know, like I said in a previous video, man, there's a lot you can do on your own, bruh. I talked about building community gardens, man. Like, you don't got to be Democratic or Republican, man, to tap in with your neighbors, right? And get the block looking good, block looking nice. Get a little garden set up, you know what I'm saying? Put together funds for one of the kids on the block to, you know, be able to afford college or be able to afford whatever type of schooling it is, right? You don't gotta, fortunately, you don't have to be informed to succeed in life, and that's kind of the way I've been operating. I do need to, like I said, get more informed, but you know, hopefully this video is gonna help out a little bit with that. But as far as the Democrats trying to, you know, speak to young men, it's just like, you know, we just do right by the people, and the people will support you. You know what I'm saying? For either side of the party, I feel like it's not that complicated, right? Like, do what you say you're gonna do. You know, don't ostracize people. Don't demonize people for saying they don't agree with abortion or whatever, you know, democratic viewpoint it is, and people will support. You know what I'm saying? I'm no expert. I haven't done all the research and, you know what I'm saying, study the syntax, language, and, you know what I'm saying, but it seemed pretty simple to me. So, you know, let's continue.
Or Speaking with American Men, a strategic plan, promises to use the funds to study the syntax, language, and content that gains attention and virality in these spaces. The effort also recommends Democrats buy advertisement in video games, among other things. The Democratic Party is treating young men like exotic animals they're studying. Now, as you can see here is the young man in his natural habitat, in a dark—
That ain't no young man. That boy about 38. that boy Asmongo, y'all know about him.
Messy cave surrounded by Taco Bell wrappers and empty Mountain Dew.
That boy old.
Here is another young man, as you can see,
He's
also
old
dwelling
too.
in a dark cave. This one has dyed his hair blue to scare off potential predators. Unfortunately, it also scares off potential mates. But moving on, here is another young man. We think we're not quite sure about this one. We're still studying it. Listen, Democrats, instead of spending $20 million to do that stupid maybe you should, I don't know, actually listen to men. I listen to men for free all the time.
Right.
All I have to do is read my comment section. Let's see here. Shoe on Head is a perfect example of why we need to repeal the 19. Greetings from Albania. I hate women so much it's unreal. Ooh, shoo, mommy, milkies, mommy. One time I got my penis stuck in a soda bottle. Okay, on second thought, maybe my comment section is not the best source.
All right, they
Trump
wildin'.
scored big with young male voters last election. Democrats are spending $20 million to learn how to speak their language. I think it's a waste of money. Maybe these guys should spend their money on teaching men to not be such sexists. Maybe that's
But the
it.
stats don't bear that out now that
Y'all moms be watching the View, man. What y'all think of that type of show? Who is? I guess that's just like, who is that really catered? Is that just the, you know what I'm saying, the lady who stays at home? You know what I'm saying? She might, I guess she's a stay-at-home mom or something, or she, you know what I'm saying, she don't like her. Like who? I'm obviously I don't watch it, so I'm not tapped in, but I've seen that show before.
Look at what young women have to choose from. The pickings are slim. Yes, we might have a feminism problem in America, but it's the feminization of men. There are a lot of young women out there that want to get married. They want to have kids. They want to have stable families. But there are a lot of young men out there who want to live in mama's basement and order DoorDash.
Oh no. The very night I was sitting on my couch writing the script to my video about how the Democrats are spending $20 million to relate to young men, this came on my TV on Fox News. A Tommy Lahren and Laura Ingraham segment about stay-at-home sons, men who still live at home. Literally minutes after this aired, it went absolutely viral on Twitter for not good reasons. So we are going to unpack this piece by piece. Because even though everyone was mocking it and making fun of it, as far as I saw, nobody was really dissecting it and breaking down exactly why she was so egregiously wrong.
Break it
so
down
come
then.
join me in debunking the male loser epidemic. Because who else better equipped to talk about men's issues than two stupid blonde bimbos? Hold on one second. 3 stupid blonde bimbos. Sorry. I felt left out. All right, let's go. Wait. I need my gamer fuel. See? I do drink it. That one's for you, Tectone.
It's a major problem. And you know, Speaker Johnson has been talking about those maybe deadbeat folks that are on Medicaid, and maybe some of those folks are the stay-at-home sons. We don't know. But I'll tell you
And
that
also, and I'm gonna listen to what they talking about. But this is also kind of why I feel like, you know, and I guess I'm trying to justify not being politically informed. I probably shouldn't try to do that, but at the same time, what am I really gonna learn from, you know, tapping in with Fox every day and listening to these type of debates? Like what is it really going to do for me, bro? All my homies I know in real life, man, are getting after something. You know what I'm saying? Getting to it in one way or another, bro. Almost all my friends got a girlfriend. So, you know, it's kind of like, at least in my experience, bro, this is kind of why I don't take all this online stuff serious, is because I feel like it's not, you know, it's not real. Like all these girls being outraged, calling this dude an incel, that dude an incel, I hate men this, I hate men that. You know what I'm saying? All these people telling me that, you know, every man is a bum, you know, and this is why I vote for this party or that party. Like everything I feel like I hear online does not reflect my reality. So it's almost like it's kind of a waste to really give it too much attention and really be so invested when, you know, instead of that, I could be achieving, you know, I mean, obviously I gotta pay attention for the sake of like growing this YouTube channel, but like be achieving everything else I'm trying to do outside of YouTube and y'all get what I'm saying? Like it is, you know, if you're just gonna come on, if the news or politics is just people debating topics online and not doing anything to solve them, it's like why even really pay it attention? All that said, let's pay it some attention, right?
Yes, leave it to Gen Z to rebrand laziness and social awkwardness as something cutesy, like a stay-at-home son. But Laura, I gotta tell you, this is also a big problem when it comes to, I think, declining birth rates, people not getting married and having children. You know, that's a big problem. They blame it on women. Well, look at what young women have to choose from. The pickings are slim. Yes, we might have a feminism problem in America, but it's the feminization of men. There are a lot of young women out there that want to get married. They want to have kids. They want to have stable families. But there are a lot of young men out there who want to live in mama's basement and order DoorDash. And that's why we have declining birth rates and a lot of other problems in society. It's time to go out, get a job, breathe the fresh air, meet people in real life. Let's just get back to basics.
So first of all, this stay-at-home son thing is not a real thing. It was a random throwaway, self-deprecating joke some contestant on Jeopardy said. One f***ing guy. Because I guess there's nothing else important going on that they could cover on the news. They literally made this into a fake phenomena so they can on young men. Meanwhile, Democrats are spending millions of dollars trying to win back young men. Oh no, the young men are leaving us in droves. How do we get them back? Don't worry. I got this. Hey, you fat, lazy, Cheeto dust-covered slobs. F you. Nice.
Yeah,
Thanks.
that's the thing. Like, you know, how do you? And it seems like you don't have to be the smartest person to understand this, but it's like, how can you gain somebody's support by attacking them, by degrading them and saying everything they're doing wrong? You know, and just say, come over here, rock with us, support us, you know, help us accomplish whatever. Like, wow, like, in you know, this is the type of, like, you know, there's a lot of, I guess, prestige and, you know, we really think that, you know, people in politics are, like, extra smart and so, like, I guess they just have, like, that I feel like there's a, you know, better than thou type aura that, you know, politicians and all that have, but, like, you know, I feel like these basic principles of, like, you kind of have to cater to your audience is not, you know, they don't even understand that type of thing. So yeah, man, it's weird, man.
Thanks. I love you. I love you too.
Right. Like, this is goofy, bro.
Is the amount of young men living home with their parents increasing? Yes. Is it because they're lazy bums and just want to order DoorDash all day? No. And also, they're not paying for DoorDash, Tommy. They're financing it. Come on. Get with the times.
There are a lot of young men out
You financing DoorDash, you wildin'. You tripping. You got the DoorDash on layaway. You need to, you know what I'm saying? You beyond help, bro. The monthly installment to get you some McDonald's is nasty. You tripping.
there who want to live in mama's basement and order DoorDash. And that's why we have declining birth rates. It's time to go out, get a job, breathe the fresh air.
Have either of you tried applying for a job as a young man recently? Or tried buying a house on the salary of one of these young men? Have you experienced the dating market, been on the dating sites as a young man? No? Interesting, okay. Just wondering. Listen, I know the average age of a Fox News viewer is like 70 nowadays and you need to pander to them, but Tommy, you are like 2 years younger than me. You know this shit isn't true.
Hey, she's
Why are you
32?
talking like this? Why are you talking like a f***ing boomer? I'm sorry, I have no other word for this, but I hate this like generational pick-me shit. I was born in the wrong generation. I'm not like those other young people. And you know what? She's not like those other young people. Not all young people can afford a nice nose job and lip filler and get a cushy job on Fox News based entirely on merit, I'm sure. The main problem with this brain-dead boomer-ass take is not only is it cringe, but it's completely divorced from reality. This slop is specifically designed for people who paid like $5 for a f***ing house. And listen, not all boomers, okay? My parents are boomers, they are lovely people. A lot of you guys are boomers, but when the baby boomer generation sends its people, it is not sending their best. They are not sending you. They're sending people who have lots of problems. They're bringing the housing crisis. They're bringing wage stagnation. They're falling for AI-generated photos on Facebook. But some, I assume, are good people. But my God, I truly believe they do not understand how good they had it. They could support a family on a single income.
Yeah, no, like, you can't, you know what I'm saying? You can't, and you know, times have changed, bro. You cannot shine shoes for a living and be able to afford a house, and, you know, your wife gets to stay at home and take care of your 10 kids. That's not how things work, bro. The economy is way worse. of course people gonna be at home for a little bit longer, right? Or have roommates when they get an apartment, you know, and it might take a little bit longer to achieve these like American dream type goals, you know. And like again, man, I feel like that's very easy to understand, but you know, politicians or, you know, people who come on these news talk shows or whatever, like either they're like being intentionally, like they're ignoring that, or, you know, they just dumb.
A single income from a job that didn't require a college degree. Their leaders didn't prostitute away
On top of that, man, we got all these AI. Man, we don't even really gotta get it. Y'all understand, bro? Like,
their economic future for some cheap plastic shit from China. They inherited the greatest economy known to man, and they pretend it's a paradise that they earned. I just don't understand, like, why don't boomers and spiritual boomers like Tommy Lauren see people struggling and go, wow, I wish I could fix this. They should have it better than I had it. And you wonder why so many millennials and
yeah, right. I don't gotta say nothing. She gonna ahead gonna break it down for me, right?
boomers don't want kids. I want to make the world a better place for my children. I want to make the world a better place for my children. Ugh. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, you spoiled brat. Children. Not happening.
Well, look at what young women have to choose
She's 32. She look older than Shu. That's tough.
from. The pickings are slim. Yes, we might have a feminism problem in America, but it's the feminization of men.
Young men are becoming lazy because they're becoming feminized. So they're becoming lazy because they act more like women? What did she mean by this, chat? I know there's like a decrease in testosterone or something happening, but men are moving right-wing all over the world. Does that correlate with the feminization? Or, I mean, there are suspiciously a lot of far-right femboys, so maybe. But here's the thing, Tammy. There is absolutely no evidence that young women want to start families more than young men. None. In fact, all the data says the exact f***ing opposite. According to Pew Research, 64% of women younger than 50 say they just don't want to have children. No reason, they just don't want them. Versus 50% of men who say the same. Another study by Archbridge Institute shows the same. 63% of women without children said they have no desire to have a child, while only 50% of men said the same. For men,
wow, that's great. Y'all want, if y'all ain't got kids, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, to all the viewers, y'all want kids, yes or no, man? Let me know. I can't do nothing about it, but let me know still.
the most commonly cited factor was personal finance. But among women, the strongest reason not to have a child was their desire to maintain their personal independence. Basically, they don't want to give up their brunch and mimosas. They've been ass-blasted with propaganda their whole lives, telling them their lives will be ruined, their bodies will be ruined, they'll never have fun again, they'll be miserable forever if they have children. And as someone who has had a children, best decision I've ever made. 10/10, highly recommend, would do it again. But yes, this idea that men are the ones primarily responsible for the low birth rates is laughable. We're laughing over here. But honestly, it's not really women or men's fault. There are a lot of factors that play into this. But Tommy, I really gotta ask, is it men or is it you?
This is going to be the summer of canceling boys. All of my friends are attractive. All of my friends are successful. All of my friends have something going on. Almost every single one of them have an issue with men. But if all of these women, including myself, are having issues, then I have to think, it might not be us. It might be you. It is not just the guys in Los Angeles, Nashville, Dallas, and they're not any better in the Midwest. Quite frankly, I think they're trash all over this country.
My friends are successful. Men don't give a shit about that. They'd marry a Walmart cashier if she was nice to them.
Also, you're going to have, what relationship doesn't have issues? Right? You know, you're never going to have a perfect relationship on the male or the female side. So it's like, what does that even mean to say? What do you even mean by saying like they all have, of course they all have issues, right? You nobody's going to see exactly the way you see things, like, right? You're going to argue about stuff. You know what I'm saying? Women are more emotional than men, right? And y'all see things differently from us. That's fine. Work it out. Like, or break up. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, y'all. Let me change the camera real quick. All right, y'all. We back. Yeah, she. See, and this is. Let's just continue, bro.
I think men between the ages of 20 and 30 are not ready, in most cases, for marriage, are usually not ready to be husbands and fathers.
That's a cultural issue. So
I just wonder why she's the figurehead, right? Like, why is, you know? Let's just continue.
look,
No, I would actually, back to your point, I think it's a biological thing.
So let me get this straight. Men are all trash and won't commit and won't leave mommy's basement, and they're destroying the birth rates. But also young men are biologically incapable of commitment and being parents. What? But wait, there's more. She also believes women don't have to bring anything to the table.
And as a woman, I want a strong man who is a protector and a provider that will go to war if need be, that will protect me, protect my family, make money. But I don't think a man needs to get something out of it to be a manly man, a protector and a provider.
No, let me actually say what I was gonna say. Like, why, you know, why are people inviting her on their shows and like actually listening to her and taking her words serious? You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to consider anything that she's saying, right? Because I mean, she just, you know, she's clearly like out of touch, and she clearly like has a, you know, bitterness towards men in general. So it's just like, you know, why even argue or give her like a platform? You know what I'm saying? Just don't listen to Tommy, right? But I mean, I ain't in charge of Fox and you know, Piers Morgan show or whatever. So
If you think you need to get something out of it, I quite frankly don't consider you a real man.
Never before in history have women demanded so much and offered so little. So before we get deeper into this retarded, manufactured, stay-at-home son narrative, let's check the Facebook comments of this Fox News video, because I am really interested to see what, like, the typical Fox News viewer thinks about this. If the women are anything like these two, I can hardly blame the men for staying home and not wanting to date them. Blame, blame, blame. These two women have a combined age of 93, and they have 0 children between both of them. You both have repugnant personality types, so listening to this was like male birth control to me. My goodness! Boomers are ruthless! Bunch of sissies. I served 6 years, 2 years in Southeast Asia after Vietnam was over. When I was 18, rent was $450 and I could afford to get my own place. She's so spot on. Nothing screams I'm a loser run from me than a guy living at home in his parents' house with his 12-year-old boy's bedroom decor at age of 30. Thank God we raised our sons to be men, who grew up, lived on their own, found their soulmate, got married, bought a beautiful home, and started a family. I was out the door at 18, worked on the assembly line at Dodge and in the Air Force at 19, never went back home. I can't relate to this. Yes, we know you people can't relate. We know. But the world has changed. Why can't you people get this through your heads? I will never let my sons stay home. I'm trying to push them out of the nest. Okay, I really gotta ask, is this an Anglo thing? Immediately kicking your kid out when they turn 18 years old? My Mediterranean mind cannot comprehend this. And honestly, why the f would a man leave home, leave his mother's cooking, for a woman who probably can't cook? Not me though. Personally, I can cook amazing homemade meals. I'll have you know I am a great trad wife.
frozen nuggets, come on, man. The Dino frozen nuggets. I ain't had these since I was about 7 years old, man. Off topic, by the way, y'all. I feel like a lot of the frozen food don't hit no more. You know what I'm saying? Like all the corn dogs, the nuggets, the little smiley face French fries that you ate as a kid. A lot of, you know, I guess your body can understand that it's like there's no nutrients in it, right? And it's actually trash, right, as you get older. So, you know, but I do miss these days, man, of eating the little nuggies.
Bone apple tea.
She nasty
now,
for that.
unfortunately, Tommy Lauren wasn't the only one pushing this stupid lazy young men go get a job bullshit. Mike Johnson did it referencing 29-year-old men playing video games all day. Steve Scalise did it with 35-year-old men playing video games all day. And just the other night, I saw this on my TV. Again.
A Wall Street Journal headline got our attention. The new dream job for young men, stay-at-home son. It's a phrase that's taken off since 27-year-old Brendan Leo won $59,000 on Jeopardy. And he has a master's degree in political science, but he's unemployed. Grow up, get a job, get a wife, build a family.
Just get a wife, bro. Just get a job, bro.
Oh, get a job? Yeah. Just get a job? Why don't I strap on my job helmet and squeeze down into a job cannon and fire off into jobland, where jobs grow on jobbies?
The term welfare queen must have fell out of fashion with Republicans, because it seems even they know the approved safe demographic to go after now. Because it's very obvious what demographic they are talking about when they say young men in their basements playing video games. This just get a job lazy attitude is not surprising, but it's especially funny coming from Fox News of all places. Fox News that spends so much time yapping about immigrants taking American jobs. Fox News will talk for years about how Americans are being screwed out of the workforce. But when this issue manifests itself in Gen Z, suddenly it's a moral failure. The fact is, a lot of American jobs held by men are being lost to automation, offshoring, and yes, cheap foreign labor.
But I will say this, and obviously Fox and all these news stations or whatever are political about or hypocritical about what they're talking about. But you can, I mean, you can just go get a job. Like, it's not gonna be the job you want, but you could walk into a grocery store or like go be a janitor somewhere real fast, or custodian or whatever. Like you can definitely, I mean, I know the job market is nasty, right? It's very hard to, you know what I'm saying, find something, but you can get like a BS job easily, you know. So I mean, there's that, but you know what I'm saying, at the price of getting paid minimum wage and still not being able to afford nothing. So it's tough.
Companies and billionaires would rather have cheap labor that they can essentially abuse, not pay fair wages to, just good little worker drones who won't unionize, rather than hire American workers for a living wage. The cheaper the labor they hire, the more money they make. I remember when Bernie Sanders called open borders a Koch brothers conspiracy.
Open borders? No, that's a Koch brothers proposal, which says essentially there is no United States.
But it
Anybody
would make a lot of global poor richer, wouldn't it?
And it'd make everybody in America poor. Then you're doing away with the concept of a nation state.
Where'd that guy go? A lot of these jobs being taken are jobs traditionally held by men, like construction and factory jobs, manual labor work. But it's not just manual labor jobs, it's also the tech industry and business industry, which are careers also mainly held by men. There are many examples of this, such as Microsoft recently cutting thousands of American workers while requesting 14,000 more H-1B workers this year. Some of those job positions include data scientists, which are 70% men, software developers, which are 80% men, and electronic engineers, which are 90% men, and many more like that. Another example of this was Tesla, where roughly 15...
Yes, I mean, yeah, and you know, they're ignoring, like, you get your software engineering degree or, you know, whatever type it is, so that you get the Microsoft job. And now they got a robot, right? They don't need you no more. So, you know, the traditional route to becoming successful is not, it no longer exists, right? And you know, Fox News or whatever, the Democrats or the Republicans, who are all these, you know what I'm saying, the figureheads are going to ignore that, right? It's kind of annoying, but, you know, it's also why, like, you know, I feel like, again, you don't really got to be invested, you know, with, you know, what they're talking about on, I guess, the Piers Morgan show, for example, or whatever Tommy Lee, I think was her name, is saying, bro. Like, you could, like, carve your own path, right? And not, you know, worry about, I guess, a boomer or a random white lady online, or random, you know what I'm saying, Latina chick online judging you, right? Let's continue.
1,000 American employees were fired in April 2024, and many were replaced with H-1B visa holders. On Twitter, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy tried to chalk this up to these immigrants just simply being the best and the brightest. Yeah, okay. You're paying them less for longer hours and more work, and they're willing to deal with it in order to stay in the country. It's coercive, exploitative, and, dare I say, not very America first. When conservatives confronted Elon Musk for this last year, he told somebody, and I quote, "Take a big step back and yourself in the face. I will go to war on this issue, the likes of which you cannot possibly comprehend." So when it comes to replacing American workers in manual labor with cheap foreign labor, it's deport, deport, deport. But when it comes to replacing his American workers with cheap foreign labor, it's yourself in the face. Interesting. There's also affirmative action and DEI, which are other things Fox News always pisses and shits about. But suddenly, when the conversation is about Gen Z men, the demographic of people who are victims of these things, suddenly these things just like don't exist anymore. Then it's, oh, young men are all just lazy. They just want to be in their parents' basement, ordering DoorDash and playing video games. But it's not just the brown people taking your jobs.
It's the black people too.
I am not beating the allegation.
She wasn't gonna say it. No, I'm playing. Y'all know I'm kidding.
With this one, the brown people are not taking your jobs, okay? It's not their fault. They're just cheaper. Aim upwards. But it's not just the brown people taking your jobs. It's the women too. Many of the dying industries are male-dominated, while many of the growing industries are female-dominated, and stigma around these jobs being woman jobs usually stops men from working them. Women are overwhelmingly entering and excelling in college and the workforce, and they're more flexible about job position and pay, while young men usually hold out for higher-paying, higher-position jobs that will make them the breadwinner. Because you see, despite the world progressing and the role of women changing, the role of men has not changed. Every woman is a feminist until the dinner bill comes. But what's crazy is, women might be the ones paying that dinner bill soon. A study from the UK found women aged 22 to 29 earned about $1,000 more annually than men, completely reversing the traditional gender pay gap for this age.
Alright, forget the stay-at-home son. I need to be a stay-at-home husband, right? Cook and clean and vacuum with my little maid outfit on. I'm tripping, y'all. Let me stop talking. Let's finish this video out.
In the US, a 2022 Pew Research Center analysis showed that women under 30 out-earned men in many metropolitan areas, with median earnings at or above 100% of men's in cities like New York and Washington, D.C. That may not sound like a lot of money now, but it's a growing trend that has never been seen before. It's so bad that it's really starting to affect the dating world. American women have never been this resigned to staying single. They are responding to major demographic shifts, including huge and growing gender gaps in economic and educational attainment, political affiliation, and beliefs about what family should look like. More women than men are attending college, buying houses, and focusing on their friendships and careers over dating and marriage. The challenges of finding a romantic partner have been made more complicated by a growing divide in education and career prospects between men and women. In 2024, 40% of American women ages 25 to 34 had a bachelor's degree, according to Pew, compared to 37% of men. A bachelor's degree increases net lifetime earnings by an estimated $1 million. Women are doing comparatively well when it comes to education in their early years in the labor force, and men are doing comparatively badly. Men's economic struggles seem to be having the biggest effect on women without a college degree, whose marriage rates by 45 have plummeted to 52% for those born between 1930 and 1980, according to research by Cornell University. Young men without a degree are struggling so much as a group that there simply aren't enough with steady jobs and earnings for non-college women to date. Men are poor, women most affected. Modern women are no longer tied to their gender role. Birth control has freed them from the prison that is their biology, and they are making their own money, sometimes more than men. They can have it all, they can do anything, they can be anything. While at the same time, men are still expected to be the provider. And more importantly, many men still want to be the provider, but they can't. And women, though strong and independent, still want men to be the provider.
And as a woman, I want a strong man who is a protector and a provider that will go to war if need be, that will protect me, protect my family, make money.
Basically, men are like, we're worried we're not making enough money. And women are like, we're worried men are not making enough money. Hello class, I am Miss On Head. I am substituting for your teacher today. She was arrested for molesting a 12-year-old boy. So today we are learning about the graph. This is the growth in productivity versus hourly compensation graph. And you can trace almost everything bad happening in society back to this graph. As you can see, productivity increased while compensation barely grew over the same time period. Notice they tracked very closely up until around 1972. Now, what happened around 1972, class? Well, the top marginal tax rate was reduced from 70% in 1964 to 50% by 1981. The federal minimum wage began to stagnate. Income going to the 1% rose from 9% in the 60s to 16% in 2023. CEOs also went from making 20 times more than the average worker to making 350 times more. than the average worker. Anything
Yeah, I mean, there's so many. It's not just this, right? Like, you know, and I didn't really speak on the women's section that she just got passed, but it's like, it's women are being more educated. I feel like we also I guess the culture around feminism and how we, I guess, or how we're trying to like normalize things like having an OnlyFans account, and, like accept like being extra promiscuous and not non-ladylike. There's also, it's not just workforce issues that I feel like are driving a wedge between like men and women and like why relationships aren't working out. We're probably gonna have to watch another video talking about relationships, so we're gonna get into that. But even then, you guys, it's not impossible to, find a girlfriend, but if you look online, you definitely gonna think it is, right? So, cause I mean, there's so much you can do other than just scroll dating apps and hope for the best, bro. You can, get out, sign up for a cooking class or a yoga class or wherever you think, you want to meet a shorty at. Go join a running club. It's not, it's not just, get on Tinder and she sees like, oh, you're 5'10" and you don't make this amount. Like, it's not over for you, bro. You still got, there's a lot more you can do, man, but let's get into it, bro.
Anything else happen around 1972? Yes, Jimmy, that is correct. Women joined the workforce around this time, but we don't have to get into that today. The fact is, hard work no longer guarantees success, and the will to work is tied to the fruits of your labor. And young men are fed up today because 90% of that fruit is rotten. Now, is there some truth to modern young people being lazy? Sure, I guess. Every generation had lazy people. And we do basically live in late-stage mouse utopia, after all. Young people today are faced with two options: revolution or escapism. And a lot of them are choosing escapism. Many have basically given up, but it's not like they didn't try. They tried and they found out the juice just isn't worth the squeeze, whether it's college, dating, or the job market. And in a way, many young men are kind of choosing revolution. The never before seen large shift rightward in young men is a small revolution in a way. They're saying, this isn't working for me, this sucks, I hate this, I want something different. This is also manifesting on the Democrat side in general. The young men that are still voting left are voting further left. You saw this recently in New York City, where Zoran Memdani, a self-proclaimed democratic socialist, won the Democratic primary. Young men are tired of the establishment, left and right. They're tired of the system and they want to burn it down and start again. They want something that works for them because this is not working for them.
If you wake up one morning and you find yourself in a society where 23-year-olds with 4-year college degrees and like initiative who aren't smoking weed every day, if they can't make enough to buy a car, much less a home, much less get married, much less have children, then why should you be surprised when half of them say they prefer socialism?
Huh. Fox News should hire that guy. There is an entire generation of fighting-aged men who are enraged and feel like they have nothing to live for. You should probably start caring. When they saw this airing on Fox News, they saw an angry woman nagging in their faces about how everything wrong in the world is their fault. An all too familiar thing they have been hearing for far too long. But unfortunately for Democrats, nobody under the age of 60 watches Fox News, so this is not really going to have an effect on young men whatsoever. So keep that $20 million. You might still need it, unless we get dragged into another war in the Middle East. If we do get dragged into another war in the Middle East, young men might come running back to the Democratic Party. Maybe not even a George Bush II electric boogaloo will have men coming back to the Democratic Party. Hopefully we don't find out. And as I'm editing this,
I'm gonna be honest, bro, if we ever, get to the point where we have to get drafted, man, just send me to prison, bro. I'm doing my 5 years, man. I just, hold that, lose 5 years off my life, and then come back and try to succeed after that. You know what I'm saying? How y'all feel about that though? If we get, and I don't think we'll get to that point. You know what I'm saying, when was the last draft? Like 50 some years ago, if I'm not mistaken. But if that happens, what y'all doing, man?
Right now, a lot of young people, even the podcast bros, seem pretty upset about the Epstein thing, but we know Democrats won't take advantage of the situation in order to protect the Clintons, so maybe not even this will save them, but we'll see, I guess. Hold on one second. That's better. So that was that video. What do you think of the male loser epidemic? Do you agree with Tommy Lauren? Is it all men's fault? Leave your comments below. I read them all. I am probably reading them right now as you type them. Wait, don't write that. No.
Yeah, no, and this is a great video, man. Shout out to you on it. I think the the whole stay-at-home son thing is fake. I guess if you're online all the time, and you're seeing, like, I guess some of the girls we saw up at the beginning of the video, like her, talking about how every man sucks, this and that. If you're scrolling Tinder all day and, what I'm saying, not working out or whatever, you might feel like a loser. But at the same time, bro, even with all, like I said, even with all the, how messed up the economy is, how people might view you, you can still overcome that, man. Fortunately, and I don't know if this will last, but I feel like, and I said this earlier, fortunately in America you can kind of be ignorant to I guess the state of society and succeed regardless, man. And it might not be, you might not become a millionaire, but you could still succeed in your own right. You could still set small goals and achieve them, man. You could, I'm saying, maybe you can't get a house, maybe, or in a as quickly as you could in the past, but you could still, lock in and figure out different ways to get the apartment, get the house, get the car, to get this, get that, and be all right. And again, even if there is a male loser epidemic or whatever, bro, do you really care about how people who you will never come across in life view men as a whole, or how they might view you online, to the extent where it makes it hurts your self-confidence and makes you want to give up, But interesting video, man. Feel like I learned a little bit about what's going on Fox News, so I guess shout out to that. Shout out to Sean Head, man. As always, your boy TwoCentz, TCZ. Say it slow, we out.